Hey everyone, and welcome to What If Pre Vizsla Killed Maul Part 3, The Empire Arrives. This will be the third and final installment in this short series, but for those of you who have not seen the other parts, they will be linked down in the description below. But now, without anything further, let us get into where a Pre Vizsla ruled Mandalore would be by the time that the Galactic Empire came around. Mandalore stands strong, stronger than it has in generations, since Pre Vizsla defeated Duchess Satine and Maul and truly overthrew the pacifistic government to return the ancient ways of the Mandalore. The planet has become what it was destined to be by the Mandalorians of old. When the Republic was twisted into the Empire, Mandalore felt confident enough in itself, and in the fact that the Imperials now had their own worlds to focus on. They were right, but only for a time. Eventually, a fleet of Star Destroyers would exit hyperspace above their world, and soon after, troops would land. The Empire had arrived. Now, if this was still Satine's world, negotiations would go into place here, perhaps attempting to set up an accord to make the impending takeover less hostile. But that would not be the case in our story. The ruling clan of Vizla would summon the clans of Mandalore by the power of the Mandalore himself. Even in his older years, Pre could still rally thousands to a cause, especially with the Darksaber and his ancient title. And so, when the Empire prepared for invasion, the Mandalorians would prepare and organize themselves. They knew that the Republic knew some Mandalorian tactics from the Clone Wars, but for this fight against the Empire, Pre Vizsla would unleash the tactics of old, from an age when the Jedi and their Republic were a great enemy of his people, thousands of years into the past, when the Mandalorians were the most relentless they had ever been. Going forward, as Imperial troops and walkers landed as a show of force and intimidation, they would send an emissary to the Mandalorian throne, a promising future governor, and his name was Gideon of the Imperial Security Bureau. Palpatine knew that this officer's tact was sharp, perhaps sharp enough to push the Mandalorians into the new galactic fold. However, the ancient Mandalorian ways were back, and for this one rare moment, Palpatine was mistaken. As Major Gideon arrived, he was polite and tactful to his host, but his firm ways still settled. After formalities, he informed Mandalore that in several moments, he will order the invasion to begin and for his troops to settle and bring security to Mandalore as a new system of the Empire. And that should Mandalore disagree, he will still bring in his troops, but instead he would turn them on the people and turn the planet to glass. It was in this moment that Gideon raised his comlink toward his mouth, asking Vizsla, "So, what shall it be then?" And in response, a Mandalorian captain on the side of the Great Hall shot the comlink out of Gideon's hand with great precision, a clear message sent to the Imperial invaders. And with this, the Major would dip his head to his new enemies and depart. The battle for Mandalore would begin. The events to follow that meeting would be long and they would be bloody. The Empire wasn't stupid. They sent immense resources to take this world of fine warriors, from walkers to stormtroopers to heavy artilleries and more, but they were no match for the Mandalorians. However, for a time they assumed that they were. They knew that their walkers were their prize secret weapon, and right as they thought these man-machines would win them the world, Vizsla's secret weapon would be unleashed. He had rebuilt the Basilisk war droids. Mandalore, Vizsla himself, would ride in upon one, and so would 100 of his best riders on 100 Basilisks, and together they would destroy the Imperial invasion force, chasing them off-world and restoring the spark of freedom to their home. The home of the ancient warriors, the home of honor and brutality, the home that is the world of the Mandalorians. But this wasn't a clean victory. The Empire would not stay away forever if they could help it. They did not accept defeat easily, and they did not tolerate the refusal of new planetary members. But they would limp away for now, wounded, considering their next move, or perhaps they would wait it out, knowing that their true ultimate weapon was on the horizon, nearing full construction. But for now, the way of Mandalore was dominant and undeniable even to the Empire, and the enemy that the Empire made of the Mandalorians would one day serve as a boon to the ever-growing Alliance. And it wasn't because the Mandalorians loved the Old Republic, not because they wanted it back, no, nothing like that at all, but it was rather because they hated the Empire. Thanks for checking out this third and final installment in the What If Pre Vizsla Killed Maul series of Star Wars What Ifs right here on Dank Ferric. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a like to support the channel and help it spread around to more people. But until the next time, my friends, always remember, this is the way.